Yes, pray for us.
Our Lord and our Father, we thank you for the gift of a new day. We bless your name for counting us worthy to see yet another day. Glory be to your name in the name of Jesus. Father, as we proceed in our plenary today, Father, you go with us so that at the end of today, we'll have every cause to glorify your holy name. Through Jesus Christ our Lord.
Amen. Even though I know we've been meeting and we have seen ourselves, but let me officially say Happy New Year to members and welcome back from recess. You are welcome back from recess, and I know that you are fully fire, and I know you are refreshed. But I can understand that any comment?
What kind of fire?
Well, I know you've been reading, and that is how to refire. So I welcome us to another year of productivity, and I'm certain that by the special grace of God, it's going to be another productive year for us. It is equally important to mention that though it was expected before we went on recess that our projects will have been completed, but looking at the magnitude of this project, we can see that the project is an enormous one. The project is nearing completion, but as we all are aware that new furnitures will be required for the project, and I can announce to us that as at today, the tables for the chamber is already in place. The chairs for our gallery, for particularly members of the public that will be coming to witness our proceedings, Ekiti people. The conference-like chairs of about 400 chairs are already in place and within the chamber. But we have over 400, almost 400 staff, and plus the honorable members. There will be need to furnish the offices, as you all are aware that this project is not just a renovation, but a total overhauling, or what I term a reconstruction. And you cannot build a building or have a project of this magnitude and without furnishing it, without getting right furnitures. And I think it is equally important to state that when we talk of furniture, it goes beyond table and chairs. It requires the ACs to be fixed. As a matter of fact, within the chambers alone, I know that about 12 standing ACs will be required for the chamber. And the construction, we just completed a 16 offices just attached to the old buildings so that we can make life comfortable for all our staffs and for members of this house. So the project is ongoing. So furnishing is there, and that is also important. And I don't think we should continue to sit here. I may also mention that by the grace of God, our clinic is also part of this construction. This clinic is not meant only for honorable members. This clinic serves over 400 people and other people that will be coming to witness our proceedings. And there is the need for us, at least, to make it well equipped. So I take time out to speak on this project because I know that our expectation is that we will be resuming back to that office. Then let me also commend your sacrifices. I mean my colleagues. In the last 1.5 years, no member of this house has an office of his own. And despite that, or close to 2 years now. Yes, I say over 1.5 years. That's close to 2 years. Close to 2 years now, you have been coming to work without office. And despite this, you are still doing your job diligently. There cannot be any better sacrifice than this. While every other person are sitting within the comfort of their offices, you will come, most times you are even under the tree for almost 2 years now. This is a sacrifice, and I appreciate this sacrifice, but I think this sacrifice should be over. Yes, and that is why it is my belief that the project has to be expedited, and we will see to the completion so that the offices can be put in place. A lot of people out there didn't know this sacrifice that you are making, that for 2 years you have been even doing your job under the tree. Under the tree. You come around, and with joy and gladness you come. And I can say anywhere that Ekiti State House of Assembly is one of the best House of Assembly in Nigeria. By the special grace of God, we can say that it's one of the most productive house He knows the number of bills that we have passed. We know the number of motions that we have moved. We know the number of resolutions that we have agreed to on the floor of this house, despite this challenging environment that you have to work in. So, by the grace of God, that project will be completed very soon. By the time, but most especially, the issue of furnitures has to be looked into, and the clinic will be made functional so that it will continue to serve the people and even us all together. And I'm also looking for that day when we will have our Ekiti State House of Assembly will have its own ambulance and every other thing that is needed for a functional clinic. I will also call that there is nothing bad even bringing in your constituents to come and see the ongoing project. Is their project, is Ekiti project. It's also important for people to understand that Ekiti State House of Assembly, or the legislative arm, is an arm of government on its own, servicing over 3 million people of Ekiti State. Ekiti State House of Assembly is not for 26 members, but it serves and it's servicing 3 million plus people in Ekiti State. This is where the law is made. This is where the appropriation. This is where we oversight. And this is where policies are also, this is where we do the monitoring and we make laws. And here is where we have the Ekiti people congregating, because they gave us their mandate to congregate here, to speak on their behalf. And whatever you do here also represent the over 3 million people of Ekiti State who has given us the mandate. So on that note, I will commend us, and I will also plead with us to bear, and that very soon, by the special grace of God, the project will be completed so that you can also begin to sit in your offices rather than staying under the tree that you have done 2 years out of 2.5 years of your tenure that you have spent. Just 2 years out of it has been under the tree. So I'll continue to encourage us. Please, we will remain focused, steadfast in our job. So I welcome you again to another year of fruitfulness, productivity, expansion, as we journey to get and make Ekiti better. It must also be stated that we are all aware that we are already in the political season, and you will begin to hear a lot of news, even about yourself. And if you hear that it is not your mother that gave birth to you, don't be dismayed. You are in that season when you hear a lot of news around. But all you need is to remain focused. And I must say that as far as Ekiti State is concerned, Ekiti is a progressive state and will continue to remain progressive. And will continue to rally support behind our own governor, Governor Biodun Abayomi Oyebanji, who, by our estimation, has done well for the people of Ekiti State, and will continue to give him that support. So, dear colleagues, don't be discouraged, don't be deterred, remain focused, remain steadfast. We will get to the promised land. Thank you, and you are welcome. It's on that note that I will take us through the votes and proceedings for Thursday, December 18, 2025. Thursday, December 18, 2025. And I'm going to take us through the pages. So if you have any observation, any comment, please signify. And very soon, we will not need any paper anymore. By what we are doing, this is a digitalized house. And I think it's important to also announce that by the special grace of God, a demonstration of our digital hub for e-parliament was carried out last week Thursday to show that this house is moving forward and we are progressing. Page 1. Page 2. Page 3. Page 4. Thank you very much. In the absence of no comment or observation, and I have also read, and I believe that this is the true reflection of what transpired on Thursday, December 18, 2025. It's on that note that I say the vote and proceeding is hereby approved. Clerk of the House, any message from the governor?
Right Honourable Speaker, sir. No message from the state governor.
Yes, clerk. Before I take the announcement here, any other announcement? Any other announcements?
Right Honourable Speaker, sir. No other announcements.
Okay. Let me also announce to us that the following management staff of Ekiti State House of Assembly has been considered for elevation as deputy clerks and executive secretary. Having met the requirement of the law. Number 1, Mr. Owolabi Ilesanmi Adeyinka to be appointed as deputy clerk, and Mr. Fashiku Adegboyega Samuel to be appointed as executive secretary of Ekiti State House of Assembly. So, at our next sitting, their confirmation, because that is the requirement of the law, they have to pass through the house for confirmation. Mr. Owolabi Ilesanmi Adeyinka and Mr. Fashiku Adegboyega Samuel has been so appointed. Thank you. Any public petition? Yes, leader of the house.
Thank you, Right Honourable Speaker. Right Honourable Speaker, permit me to join you to welcome my colleagues from this fantastic recess. I can see the radiant faces, and obviously we have relieved ourselves of all the stress that came with the service of last year. I'm sure we are rekindled to face the service.
Don't want to use refire because of Right Honourable Akim Jamiu. Either rekindle, reginger, and refire.
I don't want the invitation. Thank you, Right Honourable Speaker. Thank you once again, my dear colleagues. Right Honourable Speaker, this is an appeal for review of short payments under the Bring Back Youth into Agriculture Empowerment Program.
Leader, let's just take the heading and the signatories and lay the petition.
Yeah. So it's about the empowerment program, the Ekiti chapter, and it's from the Ekiti Youth Advocacy Group. EYAC. The PRO, the president, and the secretary of the Ekiti Youth Advocate Group signed the petition.
Thank you very much. You can come and lay the petition. Can you please move the motion?
Speaker, Right Honourable Speaker, having just presented the petition from the EYAC group, I want to move the motion that this House do adopt this document so that it can become a working document of this.
Any seconder? Any seconder? Yes, Honorable. Yes, Honorable Femi Akindele.
Honorable Speaker, dear colleagues, good morning once again. Good afternoon. I rise this time to second the motion ably moved by leader of business that the documents be adopted as working documents of the House. I so second.
Those in favor say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. This petition has become the working document of this House, and without wasting time, the petition is hereby committed to the Committee on Agric. Honorable Fawekun, you have 1 week to look into this petition and report to the House. Thank you. Any matter of urgent public importance? Yes, Honorable Iyabo Fakule, the barrister, the princess, Okieme, plus Lydia.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. My name is Honorable Barrister Iyabo Fakule Okieme, and I represent the good people of Ilejimeje constituency. And before I present my matter of urgent public importance, I want to also join Mr. Speaker to welcome all our members back to work. I pray that this year will be a productive one for us all. Mr. Speaker and dear distinguished honorable colleagues, I rise today under matter of urgent public importance to celebrate an exceptional Nigerian, an accomplished legal scholar, a distinguished administrator, and a proud daughter of Ekiti State, the Ado-Ekiti-born lawyer, Dr. Olugbemisola Titilayo Odushote, on her appointment as the Director General of the Nigerian Law School. I think it behoves this honorable House to give her this special recognition and to celebrate her. And I thank you, Mr. Speaker, for granting me this request. This appointment, approved by His Excellency President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, GCFR, and taking effect from January 10, 2026, is not only well deserved, but deeply symbolic. Dr. Odushote will become the first woman to lead the Nigerian Law School since its establishment in 1962. A historical milestone that speaks to excellence, perseverance, and the steady breaking of barriers in our nation's institutions. Dr. Odushote's journey is one marked by scholarship, discipline, and unwavering commitment to legal education. She earned her LLB degree from Obafemi Awolowo University and was called to the Nigerian bar in the year 1988. She went on to obtain an LLM in company and commercial law from the same institution and later a PhD in law from the University of Surrey, United Kingdom, with research interest in public law and the administration of justice. Since joining the Nigerian Law School in 2001 as a lecturer, she has served with distinction in numerous capacities as head of academic department, director of academics, head of campus, and most recently the deputy director general and head of the Lagos campus. Her career reflects not just longevity but impact, and I wish to let Mr. Speaker and this honorable house know that she was my lecturer in the Nigerian Law School. She taught me property law in the year 2017/2018. She has also represented the institution internationally as a visiting scholar in Nottingham Trent University. She has published widely in respected journals and contributed meaningfully to legal education policy through service on committees of the Council of Legal Education and the Nigerian Bar Association. Mr. Speaker, distinguished honorable colleagues, the leadership of the Nigerian Law School carries immense responsibility. The DG shapes the minds and professional character of future legal practitioners and custodians of justice in our country. In Dr. Odushote, Nigeria has found a leader with the academic depth, administrative experience, and moral authority to guide this vital institution into a new era. For us in Ekiti State, this is a moment of immense pride. Dr. Odushote stands as an astounding example of what dedication to education, integrity in service, and intellectual excellence can achieve. She is not only making history, she is inspiring a new generation of young Nigerians, especially young girls, to see that there are no limits to how far learning and hard work can take them. It is on this note, Mr. Speaker and the distinguished honorable colleagues, that I wish that to do this on behalf of my constituents, on behalf of this honorable house, and on behalf of Ekiti State as a whole. And with the leave of this honorable house, I hereby congratulate Dr. Olugbemisola Titilayo Odushote on her appointment. I wish her wisdom, divine strength, and resounding success as she assumes office. And I am confident that under her leadership, the Nigerian Law School will continue to uphold the highest standard of legal training and professional ethics. Thank you for this opportunity, Mr. Speaker.
I believe that this is a matter of urgent public importance and that this is very, very important, particularly to us in Ekiti State. As we all know, Ekiti has always been known for first in everything. I would say in everything. And this is one of the first. As you all are aware, the Nigerian Law School was established 64 years ago. 64 years ago, that school was established. And in the history of that school, this is the first female director general. And the first female director general is coming from Ekiti State. I think it's worth celebration. I don't know whether Honorable Adegbite and Right Honorable Bolaje Egbemi will have to say something, because I know they will be most glad to have her, that she's also not just from Ekiti State, but she's from Ado Ekiti. She's from Ado Ekiti. So, is there any of you that want to say anything? Yes, Right Honorable Bolaji Olagbaju.
Right Honorable Speaker, sir, distinguished members of the most honorable assembly in Ekiti State, the 7th Assembly. My name is Right Honorable Bolaji Egbeyemi Olagbaju, a proud daughter of Ado Ekiti from Ado Constituency 2. I rise this afternoon with all pride, happiness, to speak to a daughter who has made Ado Ekiti proud. Before I begin to talk about Dr. Gbemisola Odushote, I would like to humbly mention that Ado Ekiti is known to produce sons and daughters of many firsts. We have a living legend today who is the person of Chief Afe Babalola, the first prominent son of Ado Ekiti to become a son in Nigeria. And today, by the grace of God, our first lady, if I have to start mentioning names, I can stand up here and mention as many people in their hundreds who are people of first from Ado Ekiti. But without, going or looking too far, today we have our very first lady, Dr. Olayemi Oyebanji, is the very first lady to have a doctorate degree, and she's from Ado Ekiti. And the first deputy governor, the first female deputy governor in Ekiti State, is also from Ado Ekiti. Ado is known to be a town of many firsts, sons and daughters.
Sorry for interrupting, because this is floor of the house, and our facts has to be clear. The first lady may not likely be the first doctor from Ado Ekiti.
I said the first lady. The first lady.
Okay, in Ekiti State, yes. Not in Nigeria.
I said Ekiti State, of course.
Oh, okay.
I said the first lady, of course. She's the first lady of the Ekiti State, of course,
yeah,
and not Nigeria.
I know there are first ladies.
So I said she's the first lady to have.
Okay.
Dr. Gbemisola. Honorable Okieme has read a profile, a very rich one, which is second to none at the law school amongst our female colleagues. This afternoon, I am very happy and, beyond happy to see this house give her a special ovation as the first female Director General of Nigerian Law School. Dr. Gbemisola is from a profound family of doctors, professors, and sons in Ado Ekiti. I stand up here as a daughter and on behalf of my brother, Honorable Ayo Adegbite, and the good people of Ado Ekiti to formally congratulate her on her appointment as the very first female Director General of Nigerian Law School. This is not an easy position to attain. After over 60 years of the Nigerian Law School establishment, she has broken a very big ground to be the first female Director General of Nigeria Law School. I want to also take this moment to thank the Speaker and the General House for this privilege to, give a special and an outstanding recognition for our darling sister, Dr. Gbemisola Odushote. Thank you so much, the 7th House of Assembly.
Thank you.
And I hope that we will continue to hear more of Ado Ekiti sons and daughters by the
Thank
grace
you
of
very
God.
much.
Thank you,
I
my
can see
darling
that you are
sister,
proud.
Dr. Gbemisola Odushote.
Thank you very
Thank
much.
you.
The Right Honorable Deputy Speaker, I can see you are a proud representative of Ado Ekiti, particularly with this appointment of the Director General of the Nigerian Law School, the first female Director General in Nigeria, a record. But I can see that as you are saying, Ado Ekiti is first and so many things. I can see that Honorable Yomi Ayonide is also looking at you and say, we have Professor Lubumo now from Idosi local government. I can also see that, what's he called? Honorable Fatula is also looking at you and saying, okay, we have so many firsts also from Ikole. And, well, I won't say of Tokwelonge because I can see he walked in, but I won't mention that. You will have to speak for yourself. But without that, there are so many firsts in Ekiti State and in Ado Ekiti. At least I know of the late SBO Falegan, who was the first, what's it called? Yes, in Nigeria. The first what again? Contract General of JAM. And so many things that we have. So, on that note, I don't know if your deputy still want to say anything at all. I can see. Thank you. If you don't have anything, don't bother to stand. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker, my distinguished colleagues. My name is Ayodeji Adegbite, representing Ado Constituency 1. I rise this morning to lend my voice to the two ladies that have spoken about Dr. Mrs. Odushote, one of our distinguished constituents from Ado Ekiti, on her appointment as the DG of Law School. Mr. Speaker, this historic appointment goes beyond individual achievements. It is a powerful statement on gender inclusion, merits, and equal opportunity, values that Ekiti State has consistently upheld. Ms. Odushote's emergence reflects that it is possible for excellence to recognize without bias and leadership, entrusted on basis of competence and character. From her profile that Princess Okeme read, we can see that she has held several positions in the Nigerian Law School, and she had not been found wanting. So it is a very proud moment for us in Ado Ekiti that one of our daughters is being recognized such. So we appreciate you, Mr. Speaker, for the privilege to give her this honor to discuss this on the floor of the House. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Well, maybe I can deduce from the lead discussants and the subsequent people who spoke, even though it wasn't stated directly, but as the one presiding, I can infer and deduce. One of the first things I deduce from it is that it is the prayer of the lead discussant that this House, by way of resolution, write a formal note of congratulatory message to the Director General. Is that taken? Is that what we have said? Those in favor say aye. So if that is the resolution of the House, the clerk of the House is hereby directed to write a formal congratulatory message to the Director General congratulating her on her appointment as the first female Director General of the Nigerian Law School, which has also represented that this government is also very much in tune with gender inclusion, gender equality. Women have been fighting for so many things and they are getting it back to back. The Ekiti State House of Assembly celebrate her achievement, and we rejoice with her and with the good people of Ekiti State, because she's also carrying the banner of Ekiti, what we are known for, We are known for integrity, for dignity, and for education, when it comes to education, for intelligence, and for all good things that you can think of. So this is another good thing coming from our own Jerusalem of Ekiti State. And we wish Dr. Odishote a very fruitful, peaceful, productive stay as Director General of the Nigerian Law School. Thank you. Thank you. Yes. Any personal explanation? Yes, Honorable Femi Akindele.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. Dear colleagues, good afternoon once again. My name is Honorable Femi Olanrewaju Akindele. I represent the entire celestial and terrestrial bodies of Rep. Environment Constituency 1. Right Honorable Speaker, dear colleagues, in line with the mantra of this 7th Assembly, to be responsive and responsible, about 2 months ago, we brought a matter to the fore here. We raised a matter of urgent public importance as to the ways and the attitude of our drivers, especially the truck and lorry drivers, the way they transport unstable materials, vis-a-vis sand, granite, and other things are unstable from the quarry or from the sites to various spots. Right Honorable Speaker, I want to announce to this Honorable House, I want to bring to the notice of this Honorable House, that same resolution that was passed by this House, that same resolution that was sanctioned, that was approved by Mr. Speaker and dear colleagues, that resolution has been activated last week because it was in the news that the Honorable Commissioner for Environment, Chief Mrs. Tosin Aluko, met with all these drivers, and she told them that he gave them till March 31st, 2026, to go and effect this resolution of this House, that going forward, anybody transporting or even carrying out any business of transporting unstable materials from one point to the other, from the first day of April, without covering with appropriate tarpaulin, that such persons will be sanctioned, the vehicles will be abandoned if possible, and that's to tell the entire world that we are making progress. And Ekiti State, we are known for sanity. We just celebrated the woman that was just recently appointed to an esteemed position. And here back home here, we have to sanitize Ekiti State. We have to make Ekiti State neat and even safe for all to live. Right, Honorable Speaker, before that matter was brought to this House, it was the activities of these people, the activities in the past that has led to loss of many lives. That was why that particular matter was brought to the House. Now that it has been activated, I want to give kudos to you. I want to celebrate my colleagues. And I want to say that I want to thank the Honorable Commissioner for even acting upon the resolution of this House.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Honorable Femi Akindele. I think this explanation is clear enough that this House passed a resolution calling for the ban of carriage of construction materials without proper protection, and that unnecessary dumping of these construction materials on our roads, that such should be banned. And what you are bringing to the notice of the House is that these directives or resolution of the House had been carried out by the concerned ministry, Ministry of Environment, calling on tippers and lorry operators in Ekiti State. And I'm aware that they will be given up to 31st of March. And from 31st of March, anyone found disobeying this will also meet the wrath of the law. And I think it's also good that when resolution of the House are obeyed, it's good for our society, because we are not just on the floor of this House to speak on matter of frivolous matters. We discuss issues affecting our community, affecting our people, issues that can bring development to our dear state. And thank God that government at the executive level and other agencies are also responding positively to the resolution of this House. So thank you for bringing this to our notice for us to know. And I also call on the Committee on Legislative Compliance to ensure that our laws and resolutions are complied with. They should be up and doing so that we know that our resolution of this House are complied with. Thank you very much. On that note, I call on the Leader of the House to take us through the order of the day.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. And good afternoon once again, my dear colleagues. Welcome back. For the first order paper for the year 2026, which is for Tuesday, February 3rd, 2026, we have 6 items. And item 1 is the further consideration of a motion on the urgent need for the establishment of a military presence in Omu Ekiti to enhance security and prevent criminal infiltration. Items 2 is prohibition of unguarded grazing of cattle and other ruminants in Ekiti State, which is going for second reading. Item 3 is Ekiti State Motor Butchers, Metal Scrap and Waste Scrap Operators Regulation Bill, which is also going for second reading. Item 4 is Ekiti State Startup Bill 2025, which is also going for second reading. Item 5 is further consideration of the report of the Committee on Public Petitions on the request for the payment of retention fee for solar-powered street lights awarded to Ayo Gapson. And item 6 is adjournment.
Leader of the House, can you take us through the item 1?
Item Speaker, item 1 is the further consideration of the motion on the urgent need for the establishment of military presence in Omu Ekiti to enhance security and prevent criminal infiltration.
You can refresh our memory on that motion.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker, dear colleagues. My dear colleagues, you will recall that in one of our earlier plenaries, Right Honorable Dele Ogushakin saw the leave of this House and discussed the urgent need for the establishment of military presence in Omu Ekiti. He cited the significant influx of herdsmen occupying deep forest areas, and also noted the boundaries of Onyi, Okeagbe, Igasa, all in Ondo State, which these areas largely are monitored and poorly accessible, and they present a serious risk of exploitation by criminal elements, kidnappers, bandits. And he also discussed several efforts that has been taken either by individual personalities or members of their community, and also on the assessment that has been done by the Nigerian military. And he sought these prayers that the executive governor of Ekiti State to approve and facilitate the establishment of that military checkpoint, that Ministry of Works and Ministry of Infrastructure and Public Utilities conduct necessary assessment and support renovation works at this site, that the Nigerian Army to expedite administrative processes and coordinate the logistics required for the swift deployment of personnel and security assets to this proposed base, that the House Committee on Security should undertake an oversight visit to Omu to assess the situation firsthand and report back to the House, and that the federal government and the Nigerian Army authorities are to support this initiative by granting formal approval for the permanent deployment of troops to this point, to this beat. So these are the context of the discussion in our last sitting, and I want to believe that Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, Leader of the House. I am aware that this motion was, the leave was sought, and the leave of the House was granted, and Honorable Dele actually moved his motion. But it required debate, and I said we will stand down the debate on it. And I don't know if there is any member that still want to speak on that, either for or against the establishment. This request the motion for the need for establishment of a military presence in Omo Ekiti in order to enhance security and prevent criminal infiltration. And in his motion, Honorable Dele Ogunchake and the seconder, Honorable Lateef Oluwole Akanle, stated that we have a lot of ungoverned space within their constituencies, and particularly in that local government. And they are requesting from this House that a resolution of the House be passed so that a military base will be placed and established within their local government. That was the prayer, and that was the motion. Any further debate, or I just put, okay, Honorable Femi Akindele.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. My name is Honorable Femi Olanrewaju Akindele. I represent the entire celestial and terrestrial bodies of Rep. Development Constituency 1. Right Honorable Speaker, I rise to support this motion that the military presence should be established. A military unit should be established in Ekiti East and the eastern part of Ekiti State. Right Honorable Speaker, that particular local government borders three states. That is Kwara State, Kogi State, and Ondo State. And all these three states, I know Nigeria is as an entirety.
How did Ekiti bordered Kwara? From where?
If you are coming from Mokpa and the likes, you get to Ekiti East in a way.
Kwara?
Yes.
Now I want to be sure. Honorable. Okay. Yes, please go ahead.
Right Honorable Speaker, the map will reveal that to us, Right Honorable Speaker. I just want to establish this so that we know that that particular local government, being the gateway state to Ekiti State, requires a military unit. And that's not, I don't think that is too difficult for us to have. We are not asking for the entire battalion, but the military unit, military presence in that environment to deter all these unguarded marauders that may want to capitalize on the safe haven that we have in Ekiti State so that they won't come and destabilize us. Thank you.
Right Honorable Speaker, distinguished colleagues, my name is Lunge Temitope Ademola, and I represent the good people of Oye Constituency 1, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I want to say with very profound respect, sir, that the debate under consideration is a laudable one. It is one that we should all support, especially with the giant strides that Mr. Governor is making vis-a-vis security in our state. It is not debatable that Ekiti State has been adjudged to be one of the safest in Nigeria, if not the safest. And this is largely due to the efforts of His Excellency to ensure that crime and criminality is curbed in Nigeria, and in compliance with Section 14(2)(b) of Nigerian Constitution, as amended 1999, that states that the primary responsibility of government shall be the security of lives and properties of the people. Therefore, Mr. Speaker, I make bold to say that the establishment of a military base in Omuo, which is a major entrance that borders the northern part of the country to Ekiti State, is one that we should all support. It's a laudable one. Considering the fact that if we look at what is happening in Nigeria today, the military has sustained pressure, very serious pressure, on the terrorists, on the bandits, and on the enemies of this country that have decided to wage war against the Nigerian state. So due to this sustained pressure, it will not be out of place to say that these guys will attempt to infiltrate states in the southwest of the country. Therefore, I want to submit, Mr. Speaker, with absolute respect to you, that I support this the establishment of this military base in Omo 100%. And I also want to give kudos to Mr. Governor for his efforts to curb crime and criminalities from Ekiti State. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Well, thank you very much. My only issue, thank you very much, Honorable Takwalonge. No, you can sit. My only issue with this motion is the motion is calling for military presence and not establishment of a military base. It's calling for establishment of a military presence. And I also know that anytime I am driving from Ekiti to Kogi, for example, there is a checkpoint. Unless or if I don't know that that checkpoint is in Ekiti. If that checkpoint is in Ekiti and it's a military presence, but if the motion is calling for establishment for a military base, unless what is on this other paper is inaccurate, then I will have to look at, I will call Honorable Dele Ogunshakin to shed light on that.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. I am Oladele Ogunshakin. I represent the good people of Ekiti East Constituency 1. I arrived this afternoon to move to speak to the motion earlier moved in November 2025 on the motion on the urgent need for the establishment of a military base in Omo Ekiti. It is stated in my speech in November.
Do you have any speech that you deliver?
Yes. In my motion, sorry. In the motion in December that we request for establishment of a military base in Omo Ekiti.
All right, that's well noted. Thank you.
And I want to further update this Honorable House that we need intervention. You
will need to further update us. You also need to come under the order of the House.
Okay.
You have earlier spoken on this, and you have moved your motion.
Thank you, sir.
Where we can also guide him as the one who moved the motion. But he will have to wait till every other person speaks before he can make his submission on it.
Thank you,
unless
sir.
there are no other person who want to speak on this bill, that is when you can further make. I only sought your clarification, and you have done that for me.
Thank you.
But if at all you are to speak, that will be after every other person has spoken on the bill. Then, as the mover of this motion, you can have the second chance to speak.
Sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
That's noted.
All right. Any other person want to speak on this bill, on this motion? All right. In the absence of no other person, then Honorable Dele Ogunshakin, you can go ahead. Oh, sorry, Honorable Ayorinde. Okay, I didn't look at that side. Thank you for calling my attention to your side. I know that that calling of attention is not just to Honorable Ayorinde, but for me to also look at that side.
Maybe because Honorable Teju is not here.
Is this an indictment?
Right Honorable Speaker, esteemed colleagues, I am Ayorinde Ebenezer Oluwayomi.
I know Right Honorable Akim Jami is very much interested in that statement.
And I represent Ido-State Constituency too. I join the Speaker and the Leader of the House to welcome all of us to the first sitting of the year. And I pray that this year will be a good one for every one of us.
Amen.
I rise this afternoon to lend my voice to this debate about establishing a military base in one of our gateway town or gateway local government in the state. I'm in full support, and I know that every one of us will support it because of the advantages that this will have on our security ecosystem. I know for sure that if we have such base in that local government, it will make Ekiti very, very unattractive for criminals who are relocating from the north to look for a place to stay. Ekiti will be off their radar. It will also reduce response time for security, emergency, and intervention. I know if we have something like that in Omo or wherever in Ekiti East, it will not be difficult to get help. It's not difficult for Ikole people to get help, for those people to get help, for every people to get help from that houses. On this note, I join my colleagues to strongly support the establishment of this military base. Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker.
Thank you, Honorable Oluwayomi Ayorinde. Any other person? Yes, Honorable Ogushaki. But I don't think there's anything you want to say that we have not heard. But let's hear you. Well, I think that time is over now.
Okay.
What's your observation? Yes.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. I just have one point to chip in to the motion moved by Honorable Ogunshaki. Mr. Speaker, my name is Honorable Johnson Oyekola Bodiadeoye. I represent the good people of Ekiti West constituency too. I just want to call the attention of the House to the fact that in this area, we already have a military presence, particularly on the border leading to Kogi.
Well, you are just coming in, and you might not know what we have discussed.
I'm fully aware. I was following online before I came in. So.
And you never heard that we mentioned what you are saying?
No.
Okay, so you can see now.
Okay.
We've discussed that.
Okay.
We've discussed that.
You know, the point I was trying to make is, it is, in my view, better to call for additional personnel.
Well, it's not asking for military presence, but for a military base. It's different from to have a base.
Yes.
That one is just a checkpoint. There is difference between a checkpoint and a base.
Yes. All right, Mr.
Thank you. Yeah. Yes, Honorable Gushaki.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. I am Oladele Ogushaki. I represent good people of Ekiti Constituency 1. I would like to thank the Honorable House, the distinguished member, for further consideration of the motion moved on the establishment.
Honorable Tokweloge, approach the chair.
On the establishment of a military base in Omo, the border between Omo and Ikare Road. I just want to add additional updates that currently there are military presence at the location which the community, in conjunction with the Special Security and Advisor to the Governor and the President of ODU that have located in Omo along a career road. Currently, there are military presence in that place, but the community has worked hand in hand to raise money and make a little accommodation for the military presence. I want the Honorable House to please grant all the requests in this motion moved, especially on the motion to direct the Ministry of Work and Ministry of Infrastructure and Public Utility to conduct necessary assessment and support renovation of the identified sites. I will be so glad if all these requests in the prayers are granted. Thank you, Right.
Very much. Without belaboring this, I will just put the question that those in favor that this House approve this motion on a motion calling for the establishment of a military base in Omo-Ekiti to enhance security and prevent criminal infiltration, say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Clerk of the House, ensure that you pass the resolution to the appropriate authorities. Congratulations, Honorable Ogunshakin. I think you have been able to mobilize members for the success of this your motion. Leader of the House.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. And the next item on our order of the day is items 2, and that's prohibition of unguarded grazing of cattle and other ruminants in Ekiti State.
Fawekum.
Repeal and Reenactment Law 2025.
Yes, you, Leader of the House, take the lead.
Thank you. Right
Honorable, the Leader of the House. This particular bill was before this House, and I think it has been debated.
We stepped it down.
Oh, it was stepped down. Yes, please, you can take the lead.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker, and my dear colleagues. Thank you for listening to me as I do a little discussion on this bill, which seeks to repeal and reenact a law to regulate and control cattle and other ruminant grazing in Ekiti State and for other matters connected with it. Mr. Speaker, my colleagues, this bill does not just intend to amend an existing law, but to strengthen public safety, protect agricultural livelihoods, enhance internal security, and entrench orderly livestock management in Ekiti State. Let me just do a background. The Ekiti State enacted prohibition of cattle grazing law number 4. That was in 2016. That law served its purpose at that time, considering the political and the economical status of the state. But imagine security realities. Our population pressure, areas that were not residentially developed are now exposed to development. We now have, even there was, yesterday I was discussing with the DG for environment and told me that the dump sites, that there's a lot of encroachment in that area. So it means that our population is increasing and is growing. And all this, and also recurring farmer other conflicts. The nation at large had focused on more agricultural input, more agricultural, more agricultural activities, and automatically this is causing a lot of conflict between farmers, herders, and landowners, etc., etc. So this bill, therefore, wants to repeal and enact that 2016 law, which seems not to be able to cater for most of these realities, and give us a more clearer procedure and a stronger enforcement mechanism, and also defined institutional responsibilities. The key objectives of the bill is anchored on 5 clear objectives. One, it intends to end uncontrolled and night grazing in Ekiti State. Two, it seeks to protect farmlands, lives, and property. These are clear objectives that were not taken care of or covered by the 2016 grazing law, anti-grazing law. Three, it wants to regulate herdsmen settlements through lawful registration. Four, it wants to strengthen security screening and accountability. And five, it wants to deter violations through clear penalties. This bill is not anti-livestock. It is pro-order, it is pro-security, and it's pro-agriculture. The highlights of key provisions, like I said earlier, in section 2 of this in this proposed bill, you see that section 2 expressly prohibits grazing on any land not designated by the state government. So it means if this bill is successfully passed, you cannot put your livestock, either your goat or your cow or your chicken, on any land that the government does not designate for that purpose. And it also restricts cattle movement, and it's restricted strictly to between 7 a.m. and 6 p.m., while it totally bans night grazing entirely. So you can see that the provision directly addresses nighttime insecurity. It also addresses farm destruction.
Can you make your debate very fast so that others can come and contribute? Thank you very much.
Thank you, Right.
Just do a contribution. Yes.
Thank you, Right. Speaker.
Because it seems you are doing a lecture now.
So apart from the section 2 that I highlighted, we also have section 3, which takes care of herdsmen settlement and registration. It proposed that there will be registration of herdsmen with government. There will be endorsement by the traditional rulers. There will be security clearance from the state security service, and there will be final approval of Mr. Governor. Also in section 5 and 6, it talks about impounding and reporting. So there it intends to confiscate cattle involved in illegal grazing. It talks about also recovering the cost of farm destruction if it happens. And it also talks about confiscation of cattle to designated safe locations and mandate immediate reporting to the Commissioner for Agriculture. So section 8 talks about the offenses and penalties, and the last section is about the repeal and reenactment. So, Mr. Speaker and my dear colleagues, this bill is all about peace, coexistence. It wishes to protect the farmers and legitimate livestock, also strengthen our internal security, and align the state with best practices in modern livestock management.
Thank you, Leader of the House.
I urge my colleagues to give this bill a smooth passage in the interest of peace, security, and sustainable agriculture in Ekiti State.
Thank you very much, Leader of the House. Yes, I am going to allow members' contributions to this bill, and what I would need from members is just to speak to the desirability of this bill, or you can speak against its desirability. You can speak against why we don't need this law, or you speak in favor of the law. And if there are any other areas of the sections of the bill that you think we should add more, then that will be done at the committee level, because it's going to be committed to a committee, and after the debate, we will speak to that. Any member who wants to speak on this bill? Yes. Yes, Honorable Lydia Okeme.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. My name is Honorable Barrister Iyabo Fakunle Okeme, and I represent the good people of Ilejemeje constituency. Mr. Speaker and distinguished honorable colleagues, I rise this afternoon to lend my voice to the desirability of an expeditious passage of this bill. The harm being caused by an unguarded grazing of animals, especially cows, in our major cities cannot be underestimated. Number one, when we want to talk about aesthetics, it is out of place to see animals roam the city in broad daylight. It is very, very dirty and undesirable. Anywhere these animals passes, they leave their dungs all over the place, grazing on any available grass everywhere. Then we have heard so much. That is my second point, talking about security of lives and property. We've heard of so many accounts of when these animals were being used as tools of capturing people, especially motorists. When these animals are grazing on the major highways, and when the perpetrators of evil, the people I can refer to as cattle rustlers, they want to catch their victims. They use these animals to block passages of travelers. So I would want to plead with Mr. Speaker and my distinguished colleagues that we waste no time in making sure that this bill becomes law in Ekiti State. And it will also add to our reputation as being first in passage of good bills. I know many people, many states desire this, but Ekiti State can still be a trailblazer in this regard. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Barrister Princess Iyabo Fakule Okebe. I call on Honorable Oluwayomi Ebenezer Ayorinde.
Esteemed colleagues, I am Honorable Yomi Ayorinde and I represent Idosi Constituency 2. Ekiti State is a very good state to live in, and successive House of Assembly has always been alive to their responsibilities too. I am a farmer, and I bear direct brunt from unguided grazing. But in the course of implementing previous laws, some gaps has been identified, which necessitated this new provision that is coming to place. I want to plead that those provisions, as highlighted by the leader of the House, are very, very desirable because it will enhance the full workability of this bill. And I enjoy all my colleagues to give it the necessary support. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much. I call on Right Honorable Akeem Ayodeji Jamiu.
Right Honorable Speaker, distinguished colleagues, I'm Right Honorable Akeem Jamiu. I represent the good people of Reporting Plenary Constituency 2. My contribution to this new bill will be a kind of observation from the previous bill, and I want to align myself with the last member who debated this bill, who spoke on this bill, that is Honorable Ayonide. My concern is not about laws.
It's about implementation. The previous bill, I'm very sure, I am conversant with it, we are conversant with it. It stated that there should be no grazing before, anything before 6 p.m. Yeah, but throughout right from the period that law was passed by the House, up to now that we are trying to review the law, this has not been implemented. So, in the House here, we are doing our job. And I want to draw the attention of Mr. Speaker to this. We don't need to be making laws that will not be implemented. What I'm trying to say is this: if we are going to put all the gaps, like Honorable Ayude said, if we are going to bridge these gaps, we must make sure that the law is implemented. That is when it will have any meaning. If not, we continue to make laws upon laws that will not be implemented. I don't know why it is difficult to stop these people doing open grazing by arresting them, by impounding the cows, but this has not been happening. So if we go ahead to
Right Honorable Akim Jami, let me ask one fundamental question.
Yes, sir.
Very fundamental question. Yes, sir. Because it's also good to make laws, but it's supposed also to be laws that can be so enforced.
Yeah.
Has there been any designated place because ranching is very important,
Yes.
but for this part of the world, you also need a designated place for this ranching. Do we have any designated place that you can take these animals to for grazing in Ekiti State? I mean, under the previous law.
No, not that I know. But what I'm just saying is that if you say, I'm not talking of ranching now, the law even gave them a kind of leeway that you can do open grazing, but not before 6 p.m. But they are doing it in the morning, in the afternoon. So if you cannot obey that, if you now have ranching, designated places, are we sure this will also be obeyed? That is just my fear. The thing that we are going to we must call, after passing this law, we must make sure that appropriate agencies execute or implement the law.
Yes.
So that is my fear.
Thank you, Right Honorable.
Thank you.
We are grateful. Yes, Honorable Tokwe Lunge.
Right Honorable Speaker, distinguished colleagues, my name is Lunge Temitokwe Ademola, and I represent the good people of Foye Constituency 1, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I rise this morning before you with profound respect to contribute to the debate on the prohibition of unguarded grazing of cattle and other ruminants in Ekiti State. Mr. Speaker, it is on record that Nigeria is the only country where you see animals grazing openly on the streets of Nigeria, even including the FCT. It is also on record, Mr. Speaker, that Nigeria is the only country where cattle is the major form of crisis between farmers and herders. Mr. Speaker, at some point in this country, there's something that became popular, a magazine that became popular, that they call farmer-herder crisis. Mr. Speaker, as a person, I believe there's nothing like farmer-herder crisis. I believe there's an aggressor against the farmers. Because if somebody planted his cassava or his cocoyam in the farm, and somebody brought his car to come and graze there, how do you refer to that as farmer-herder crisis? Somebody is the aggressor. Somebody is planting his farm, his cocoyam or his yam, tubers of yam, or his cassava in his farm. So what I'm saying is that Nigeria is about the only country in the whole world where we still have issues where cow animal grazing is still causing problems, Mr. Speaker.
I agree with you, I'm sorry, that instead of us even criminalizing it, calling it crisis, is like trying to create a leeway for the offenders.
That's what I'm saying, Mr. Speaker.
Because it's an invasion of those farmers' farm.
That's what I'm saying, Mr. Speaker.
It's an invasion. Please.
That's what I'm saying, Mr. Speaker.
I agree with you.
So it's an invasion of the farmers' land. So there's no ab initio, there's nothing that's supposed to be referred to as. We have to put these things in proper perspective, Mr. Speaker. Okay? Number two, Mr. Speaker, China has the largest heads of cows in the whole world. China practices ranching. They have 307 billion cattle in China. You will not see animals grazing all over China. Okay? Mr. Speaker, Brazil has 73 million heads of cattle. You will not see, China, you will not see animals moving up and down. And also, if you go to India, they have 307 million. You don't see animals grazing all over the places. So, Mr. Speaker, I think you see again, Sir Isaac Newton, that famous scientist, said that actions and reactions must always be equal and opposite. So, if there's an action, there must be a reaction, okay, that is commensurate to that action. So, and there's also a balance that says that where there is no law, there is no crime. Where there is no law, there is no crime. When the Right Honorable Hakeem Jami was talking, he said we have to ensure that people comply with the laws. Americans will say, if you cannot do the crime, if you can't do the term, don't do the crime. So once we pass a law here, Mr. Speaker, I believe that it becomes automatic for everybody to comply with that law. Okay, so we shouldn't beg people to comply with these laws. Once we have made the laws, we are constitutionally empowered to make laws here. And once we have made the laws, compliance becomes inevitable for everybody. Therefore, Mr. Speaker, I want to say that we should waste no time, because I'm sure people will comply. They will comply. People will comply. If they don't comply, there will be a commensurate consequence for non-compliance with our laws. And in rounding up, Mr. Speaker, I want to say that we should waste no time in passing this bill to law that prohibits, not even giving them a timeline. You see, you can't be putting your cows all over the places, destroying people's farm and causing crises all over the places. So that will prohibit open grazing all over the places. And again, in closing, open grazing is not even good for the animals. By the time you bring an animal from the north of the Niger or from the Sahel, you graze the animal downwards, it will have lost a lot of protein. It will have lost a lot of meat. The animal will have become leaner. When you see animals that are being ranched, Mr. Speaker, they look fatter, they are more well fed. Okay, so Mr. Speaker, I want to say it is very important that we waste no time in passing this bill into law.
Thank you very much.
Comply. Thank you, Mr.
Thank
Speaker.
you very much. I love the vigor and the passion with which you spoke. It shows how this bill is to you, and we can understand your thought on this, and we can see your concerns. And I believe the committee that will handle this will also put those concerns and your thoughts into consideration while they are looking into it. Okay? Just like you always say. Honorable Alhaja Miriam Ogunlade.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Good afternoon, sir. I just want to call your attention to the caption, on number 2, prohibition of unguided grazing of cattle. Unguided grazing of cattle. You know, that word is weighty. To start with, my name is Honorable Alhaja Mariam Bimbola Ogunlade. I represent the good people of Emure constituency in the 7th Assembly. I just want to call your attention, sir, to the caption under discourse, unguided grazing of cattle. The law is very, very necessary to restrict the movement of the cattle occupying people's land. You know, because people fear the Fulanis, and they intentionally put their cattle on your land and start threatening you threatening you. Because if you decide to do anything on the land and you are alone, they may kill you there, or injure you, or do anything bad to you, and nothing will happen. Before you know it, they will run away from that site, the spot, to another site where people will not see them. So, these people, e.g., Ado Ekiti, the road leading to Iworoko, some people have their land there that these people have occupied, and to farm on those lands is impossible for the people that own the land. And to build anything there, they have started threatening people, and people are running away from them because nobody will blame them. They will blame the dead. That when you know they are there, what are you doing there? So all those things are giving us problem, especially the farmers. So the earlier the better we pass this law, this action and this restriction into law, the better, so that our people will be able to move around and they will not fear anything. They will have rest of mind. They can come to your house and meet you there, and people will still blame you for not protecting yourself. So I want to say that I'll join my voice to those who have spoke on the early passage of the bill, so that we will be able to rest our mind in Ekiti State, and the farmers will be able to go around with their business. Thank you, sir.
Honorable Aliaja Miriam Ogunlade. So, Honorable Bosalo Okere.
Right, Honorable Speaker. Good afternoon, sir. I'm Honorable Bosalo Okere. I represent the most special republic that is existing within the state, Evan Republic. Distinguished colleagues, I arise this afternoon to join my voice to the former speakers that have spoken on the issue at hand, that's provision of unguarded grazing of cattle and other ruminants in Ekiti State. They're listening to the leader of business when he was itemizing and telling us the advantages of this bill if eventually passed to law. I discovered that it is of great importance compared to the existing law that we have on this. Because the law we have initially, I don't think it states any specified space of land that can be used for cattle grazing. This one stated that it's going to reduce the area of insecurity to the farmer's life, especially when the herdsmen take their cattle to destroy people's farm. I don't want us to waste any time. Let us come together, pass this bill on time, due to the lot of advantages that our people will benefit from this bill. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Honorable Bosalo Okere. Honorable, yes, Femi Fatola. Oh, okay.
Right, Honorable Speaker, sir. Distinguished colleague, my name is Femi Fatola. I represent the good people of Ikole constituency. Mr. Speaker, I also want to lend my voice in support of this bill.
Honorable Tope Longe, please have your seat and call yourself to order.
Mr. Speaker, it interests you to know that burning of bushes caused by these Fulani guys, by elders, that is burning of bushes. If you go to farm and everywhere, you will see that they will go to your farm and light up your farm just because they want where they will give their cows food to eat, and that is what they do. The other one that interests me in this bill is the underage. If you go around Ado Ekiti, Mr. Speaker, you will see a boy of 5, 6, 7 years going around with 20 to 50 cows. And that will now be difficult for him to control. If motor is coming or passing by, they won't be able to control those cows. I think passing of this bill is important, and I want to support the passage. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you very much. Because of my time, I will just take maybe 2 more so that we can commit it to the Committee of the Whole House. So, Honorable Karim Agumbiade.
All right, Honorable Speaker, distinguished colleagues. My name is Honorable Karim Agumbiade. I am the member representing Mr. Governor's constituency, Ekiti West.
Well, this your representation. Members will have to look at it very well. If you are representing Mr. Governor,
yes,
don't worry, we know what to do. We won't say it here.
Thank you, sir. Sir, I want to lend my voice to the debate on grazing cattle in Ekiti State. Mr. Speaker, I believe that some of the evil activities of Fulanis,
I don't want us to just X-Men.
X-Men, perpetrated by most of it perpetrated by the immigrants.
Okay.
I believe that we some of them came from other states, and they don't know who owns any land. They believe they can eat and go. And when I was the chairman of the local government, I did one thing, which curbed their activities in that local government then. I mean Ekiti West, precisely. We have Fulani that they have been with us for X-Men that they have been with us for a very long time, and I believe they believe that if there's any criminal activities, they are the next person to call. As to that, they are always careful about their activities. But the immigrant one, they don't know anybody, they believe that they can enter any farm. And they have turned our farmers to something else. Mr. Speaker, the best way to handle them is to, maybe if there's any way that we can fortify all our local security. I mean, in the state presently, we have anti-grazing, we have Amotekun, and I believe if they can be more proactive in their activities, they can curb them. That is my submission.
Thank you very much. It's very important to also empower our local security, particularly the other what's it called them now? Paramilitary outfits and the local ones, the Amotekun, the anti-grazing, Peace Corps, and the agro marshals. I agree with you on that. So I call on Honorable Ayo Adegbite Adeyinka.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker, my distinguished colleagues. My name is Ayodeji Adegbite, representing Ado Constituency 1. Speaking on this prohibition of unguarded grazing of cattle and other ruminants in the Ekiti State, I would like to talk about the parts where Dr. Hakim Jami raised the question of compliance to the resolutions. I think it's high time we actually make new resolutions on compliance. We make new resolutions, the sign that we need to assign maybe the resolutions to different committees or probably ad hoc committees. situation where we can call, make sure they give us written reports, maybe weekly or monthly, on the progress of the resolution, where we can always make sure that at the time we are screening them or doing all sorts in the assembly here, we can always ask them the level of compliance, where they used to work before.
Honorable, are you aware that this house has a committee on legislative compliance?
We need to work on them.
What is that committee doing? Legislative compliance. We have a committee, and I think this committee should wake up and let them do their job. Committee, well, I am going to ask, look at the chairman of that committee and other members of that committee. We will look at it. Please go ahead. Thank you very much. Honorable, yes, Honorable Gushaki. And you'll be the last person to speak. Thank you.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. I am Oladele Ogunshakin. I represent the good people of Ekiti East Constituency 1. I want to join my other colleagues who have spoken on the importance of provision of unguided grazing of cattle and other ruminants in Ekiti State. This bill is coming at the right time because we have to look at public safety concern in this perspective, because the cattle rearer in most cases embark on daily journey, day and night. Overnight, they encroach in people's property and do a lot of damage to people's property. It happens to me even in my village. My fence was damaged and there's nothing I could do about it. This bill will also help to combat the water pollution source, because the cattle pollute everything along the way, and it also creates a conflict situation to local communities, and it also serves as a transmission of diseases to other livestock, because wherever they go, they pass all their refuse along the road and even the bush. And I believe if we put this into acceleration, pass this bill on time, it will help us in Ekiti State to combat the unguided grazing in Ekiti State. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you very much, Honorable Ogushaki. Yes, Honorable Femi Akindele. Last but not the least.
Dear colleagues, good afternoon. My take will be more of clarification and why the bill is more desirable at this time. Right, Honorable Speaker, I want to, just like you rightly said, we have these agencies in place. You have the anti-grazing, you have the Amotekun, and other paramilitary agencies that the state government had already put in place. Right, Honorable Speaker, what we are doing today is to further empower them the more, further give them the enablement, further give them that power to carry on their activities as it is requested, as it is desired by the state or by even both parties that are involved in this case. Right, Honorable Speaker, as of this day, what we are expected to do is what we are doing, and it's timing us, and I want to admonish us that we should not waste any other further time on this bill. Because if I want to explain my personal experience, these same set of people chased me from Ako side when I used to have farm. 2024, I came to between Ikere and Ise, where we cultivated 12 hectares of maize. Right, Honorable Speaker, these people destroyed more than 7 hectares overnight. We were unable, yes, we were able to harvest all these things. At some point, the one we harvested, that we were able to even move to town. They came overnight and they brought their heads, they brought their cattle, and they devoured all these things, and that was all. So that's Honorable Speaker, we cannot have it better than this time. The other better time was yesterday. That's Honorable Speaker, dear colleagues.
Honorable
should be passed now. Thank you.
Honorable Loge, please approach the chair once again. Hold on, please. Sorry, 1 minute. Thank you, everyone who has contributed to this all-important bill. Let me state that when you look at this bill, there are a lot that were not in the previous bill that we now have in this current bill. Whether we like it or not, unless we want to deceive ourselves, there are some of our community leaders that we can be regarded as culprits on this issue of herdsmen. A lot of settlers in Ekiti State had the approval of our community leaders. And at the end of the day, these settlers are the ones causing havoc. Most of the herdsmen are harbored by our community. I don't even want to say some of the royal fathers. And in this law, one of the provisions of this bill is that approval has to be sought from the state government. And that no community leader can give any approval or harbor any of these immigrants or those who want to settle without this approval. I think this is one of the provisions of this law that is very, very important that we have to look at. None of these people will just settle on any farmland without the consent of the landowners. So you realize that some of these people who also settle in our communities have the consent of the farm owner, and that is why government is saying no. By the provision of this law now, you cannot just allow anybody to settle on your land without the approval of the government. And then that allows for registration to also know who is residing where and when, and other issues that I don't want to go into, because this bill will be committed. But let's take the second reading, then we'll commit it, and this bill must pass through public hearing. Right Honorable Akim Jamiu, one of the challenges with the previous law, I remember we were not here, but when that law was passed, there was no serious publicity around it. So, but this one, we will do a public hearing, inviting necessary stakeholders, including the headers, including our traditional rulers, representative of traditional rulers, traditional council, including some of our landlords, including every relevant agencies, all the heads of security agencies and other paramilitary agencies in Ekiti State. Invite them. Let them be part of the public hearing. So it is just going to be all encompassing, so that they will be part of it from the beginning. Everybody will know that there is a law in place. This anti-grazing law, if you not because you are a lawmaker, some of us don't even know that there was an anti-grazing law. And a lot of people don't know. And that is why representatives of traditional rulers that will take it back to the traditional council, landlord association, elders, I believe they have association, and every other persons that, all of them must be brought to the public hearing and have the public hearing, and at our public hearing ensure that the provision of the law line after line. And when you are writing to them, if possible, make copies of this law, send it to them ahead of time. Let them have access to this bill. Let them have access so that if there is any presentation they want to make during the public hearing, let them come and make it on the floor of this house. So we will commit this to a committee of the house, but please ensure that all these are carried out. A public hearing is important on a bill of this nature, so that everybody, you are aware even before the law is passed, and other people will know their responsibility. Community leaders who are harboring them will know that they cannot do that anymore. It's important. Clerk of the House, can you take the second reading of this bill?
Right Honorable Speaker, sir. Distinguished honorable members. A bill to repeal and reenact the law to regulate and control cattle and ruminant grazing in Ekiti State and other matters connected therewith. Second reading.
Well, the bill has passed through the second reading. On that note, I want to commit this bill to the appropriate committee of the House, Committee on Agric. But like I said, ensure you carried out a public hearing, and I will seek the indulgence of members of the House that on the day of this public hearing, let us be part of it. All members, let's be part of this. Please send your notice of this public hearing to the traditional council. Let them send a representative. Let them come. Send your notice to Metiala. What do they call them? I think that is the Metiala. Let them come. Send this, your public hearing notice, to security agencies in Ekiti State, all the security agencies, civil events, police, DSS, and paramilitary agencies such as Amotekun, Agro Macha, and the rest, and the others. Let them be part of this proceeding. And it's even on that note that we also call on Committee on Security to look into some of our laws, particularly the law establishing some of the paramilitary, if there is the need to strengthen those laws. And look at some of the paramilitary that does not have any enabling law, so that we can also work. We don't want to operate any outfit in Ekiti State that is outlaw, that does not have the force of the law. If there is any outfit in Ekiti that does not have, that the law has not established, they should look at it. Then it is also better that the Committee on Security should also join the Committee on Agric, so that they can work together, while all members of the House are encouraged, particularly to be part of the public hearing. Please make this notice known. I had earlier wanted to say that we will consider this bill next week Thursday, but because I want you to give a sufficient notice, but please, within 2 weeks. Within 2 weeks, do your job, conduct public hearing, come with your report, because we also need to expedite action on this bill. So you have just 2 weeks to work on this bill. And like I said, make copies of this bill. Let all the stakeholders that you are sending the bills to have an advance copy, so that they can also come. Even invite Ministry of Justice. Invite relevant, like I said, even higher institution. Let them come and contribute to this bill, so that at the end of the day, you can invite the Faculty of Law of any of the higher institutions, either Abuad, EXU, FOIE. You can invite them to be part of this public hearing. But let us have a stakeholder engagement for this public hearing. It's a bill that called for serious attention. I didn't really want to go into what Honorable Femi Akindele said. I am a victim of what you have said. I planted, and everything planted one night in one sweat swoop, everything gone. And that is the question I asked myself. If government say, oh, we should go back to farm. We are saying people should go back to farm. But these elders destroy your crops, destroy what you have planted. So how do we guarantee jobs, food security? So this bill is also about food security, life security. So it's important that we must ensure that we have food security in Ekiti State, and that even security of life. We know havoc, accident that has happened as a result of uncontrolled grazing. Just in the night. Thank God for those of us who had an experience sometimes some years ago. Along Efon Road, you will recall, if you still recollect. You know what happened that night? If there has not been enough help, you know what could have happened. And that is why we are saying no. Grazing in the night is even prohibited in Ekiti State by this bill, if once passed into law. So you can only graze between 6 a.m. and 7 a.m. and 6 p.m. But we will look at it and get recommendations from all the stakeholders, so that we can have an informed and a well-researched, presentations before we pass this bill into law. But I believe this is a welcome bill, a welcome development in our dear state. So 2 weeks and ensure that you give it adequate publicity. Go on radio. Committee, go on radio. Go to invite people for this, what's it called? For this public hearing. Go on here. Let it be on here. Announce it. The date, announce the date, at least 3 days notice. Let it be on here 3 days before the day of public hearing. Be on here, and provisions will be made to cater for every other thing that will be required. Thank you. Yes, leader of the house. Leader of the house. Before you tell us the next item, you will recall that today is the first day. And I don't think we should over-labor these people coming for the... And you know, if you have gone on recess, your body needs to acclimatize, readjust. So, taking too much today may discourage them tomorrow. For them not to be discouraged tomorrow, can you just stand down other items except item 6 on the list? Except item 6.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. In compliance with your directive and the obvious endorsement by other members, having stepped down items 3, 4, and 5, the next item of our order for today now becomes adjournment.
Yes, before you move your motion for adjournment, I also need to announce to the House that please, there is going to be a short meeting after this plenary at the office of the Speaker. All members to converge at the Speaker's office in our main complex. To those who don't know out there, this is the whole chamber, the chamber used by the First Assembly. Now, let me also announce to us that while we were away on recess, the following members of the House celebrated their birthday, and in arrears, we will wish them happy birthday. On the 28th of December, Honorable Barrister Fakunle Yabode Okemen celebrated her birthday, while on 29th of December, Honorable Babatunde Fawekun celebrated his birthday. And so, I don't know, it was in that sequence, because 28, 29, and on the 30th, Honorable Idowu Sunday Odebumi celebrated his birthday. And to open the year, Honorable Kende Anthony Adamodu celebrated his birthday on the 7th day of January 2026. I mean, 7th day of January, because it's every year. While Honorable Lateef Oluwole Akanle celebrated his birthday on the 27th of January. And by a whisker, just little, 2 days ago, Honorable Bosede Olowokere also celebrated her birthday. But in our own case, we are in a month, 1st of February. She celebrated her birthday. So, and it is on that note that I want to wish all members who have celebrated in our absence their birthday, happy birthday, long life, and prosperity. But don't forget that it is our usual practice to also sing for them. And this time I'm going to call on Honorable Karim Agumbade to lead this celebration for our members. Yes. After all, you pray, you are the one that prayed in the last event that we had last year. So open it up, celebrating this member.
Happy birthday to
Let's stand up, except for those who are celebrating their birthday.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Happy birthday to you.
May the good Lord bless you. May the good Lord
bless you. May the good Lord bless you. Celebrate. May the good Lord bless you.
Hip, hip, hip.
Hooray.
Hip, hip, hip. Hooray. Thank you very much. Congratulations to all of you. Wishing you happy birthday and many happy returns. Thank you. Meanwhile, don't forget the other usual. The other usual, don't forget that. We will get a date for you. The only grace you have, you can do it collectively. But you know what that means? No, okay. Then, DL, please arrange the order. How they will come one after the other. Celebration. Congratulations to all of you. Now I call on the leader of the house to move the motion. Take your motion.
Honorable Speaker, my dear colleagues, having exhausted some of the items in the order of today and set down some, the popular endorsement of others, I want to move the motion that this House adjourns synodal. I so move.
Any seconder to that motion? Yes, Honorable Odebumi Idowu.
Capacity right, Honorable Speaker, distinguished Honorable colleagues, I remain my humble self, Honorable Comrade Idowu Odebumi, representing the good people of Oye Constituency 2. Mr. Speaker, I rise this afternoon to second the motion that this sitting be adjourned synodal. So second.
I therefore put the question that those in favor of this motion that the House adjourn synodal, press yes. Those against, press no. And the voting starts now. Thank you very much. At the end of the voting, 13 people say yes, 1 say nay. And like I always tell you, minority will have their say, majority will have their way. On that note, the yes have it. I arise.